Even though he told Steve Bannon this week that he was angry that he was being blamed for the chaos in D.C. and, of course, the looming government shutdown, Matt Gaetz doesn't think he should be blamed for any of that. Gaetz made it clear this week that he is, in fact, going to push for a government shutdown if he does not get every single thing that he wanted. So his anger is a little misplaced, like, why are people blaming me? Well, the answer is simple. Because you're the one to blame, Matt. Here is what Matt Gaetz said this week about the government shutdown that he is, in fact, pushing. I want compliance. Whether or not Kevin McCarthy as Speaker remains in his hands. If Speaker McCarthy relies on Democrats to pass a continuing resolution, I would call the Capitol moving truck to his office pretty soon because my expectation would be he'd be out of the Speaker's office quite promptly. We will have a government shutdown, and it is absolutely Speaker McCarthy's fault. We cannot blame Joe Biden for not having moved our individual spending bills. We cannot blame House Democrats. We can't even blame Chuck Schumer and the Senate. We were entirely in control of whether or not to be on schedule with single subject spending bills, and we didn't. Now, kind of want to put a pin in that statement because I guarantee you, if we do have a government shutdown, idiots like Matt Gaetz are going to come out and be like, oh, it was the Democrats who did this. You're on record now, bud. You already said totally not Biden's fault, totally not the Democrats' fault. And I hope, by the way, that Democrats are smart enough to use that statement in every political ad that they run next year to remind people of who did this. But you're blaming Kevin McCarthy for what you're doing. Like, you're the one pushing this because you want votes on your two pet projects. One is term limits for Congress, something I actually support. I don't support a government shutdown to get that, however, so we're at odds on that. But I do support the legislation, actually. I think term limits is a great thing. Don't just limit it to Congress. Let's bring in federal judges as well. The second thing you want, the dumb thing, the balanced budget amendment. So that, of course, would result in basically cutting all government spending for programs that keep people out of poverty, effectively keeping people alive. So that's a very dumb decision. Unless by balancing the budget, you mean just not giving the military $900 billion a year, in which case I'm all for it. But you're not going to do that. You're also not going to repeal those tax cuts for millionaires and billionaires and corporations, so your balanced budget amendment already falls flat. But you get the blame. You don't get to sit there and say that, oh, we're going to have a shutdown if my demands aren't met, and it'll be his fault. No, you're the one doing it. This is on you. Yes, it's also on your entire party. It's not just you acting alone, but you can't sit there and deflect the blame when you're telling reporters, by God, I'm going to do this. That's on you, bud. So when this government shuts down, and by the way, you happen to represent a district that will be directly impacted by a shutdown, we've got national parks. We've got a lot of military here, and y'all can't even pass the military budget. Yeah. This could impact you and your district tremendously. Not that the people here will ultimately hold you accountable. We live in an idiot right-wing district. Sorry, but we do. But either way, quit whining and crying and maybe start doing your actual job, and we can avoid this altogether. But if you want to oust McCarthy as Speaker, I'm all for that too, because every bit of chaos that happens in the Republican Party benefits the Democratic Party. So if you want to be the whiny little petulant child that you are and continue throwing your tantrum, which you will, be my guest. Just don't do it at the expense of the American public. Ring of Fire has fresh content 7 days a week, so if you want to be reminded about it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell to be notified every time a new video goes up.